for your your reading test. And it says retell rubric because you're going to read something in Spanish and you're going to retell it in English. That's why it's called a retell rubric. The second is your listening rubric. It's the exact same thing because you're listening in Spanish and you're retelling what I said in English. That's why it's called a retell rubric. If you flip the page, on the back, you will find your listening assessment. We're going to do that. Your reading assessment. Goodness gracious. Your reading is first. We're going to do that together in a moment. And then you'll see a spot for listening. And then if you flip to the last page, you will see your writing and your writing rubric. Okay, so let's go over the things for the reading and listening that you need to make sure you include. It says, your retell answers all three of the description of a setting question. And I made sure that there are answers to these in what you're going to read and what I'm going to tell you. Okay, so you need to make sure that when you're telling me what it means in English, that you include like what it is, what's the picture of. Okay, you're going to say where it is. That could be a city, it could be a state, it could be a country. And you're also going to tell me when. So when could be a day, a month, a season, could be a time. Any of those can answer the when question, okay? And then the second thing you're going to be checked for is that you include at least 5 facts about the setting. Okay, and these include your sensory details. So this could be things you can see, things you can hear, the weather, so things you can feel, how people are feeling or how things are feeling, since animals are things, Carter. Anyway, yeah, I think that's most of it. Okay, so I made sure that all of these are included in the reading and the listening. So that's what you're trying to write down in English. The first time that we read through the reading, I just want you to follow along and try to figure out what it means. If you want to jot down any notes to yourself when we read through it, if you want to turn to your second page. If you want to jot down any notes to yourself to help you remember what things mean, then that might be a good choice. Okay. No. Why is that so small? Oh, there we go. Okay. Here's your reading. Hay un castillo muy grande. You're not writing it. You're just trying to understand. El castillo está en Segovia, España. Es invierno. La estación es invierno. Diciembre, enero, febrero, invierno. Es invierno en la foto. Hace mucho frío y está nublado. No hace ni sol ni calor, pero hace viento. Hay muchos árboles. Es silencioso porque no hay personas ni animales. All right, go ahead and write down what it's saying in English and double check that you have all of those items. The what is in the picture? What is it? Where is it? What's the time frame? When is it? And then include 5 facts, things you could see or hear or weather or feel. Those could be things that you don't see, that you don't hear, what it's not feeling like. But base it off of what is in the text. Yes, sir?
So we're not writing the text like word for word?
Well, if you write it word for word, you'll hit all of it. Yeah, if you can translate it all into English, you will hit all of the things you need. But after you're done writing in English, you should double check that you have those things. you don't know a part, leave a blank spot and continue with what you do know. You can always come back, reread it, try to fill it in if you have extra time. So focus on just trying to tell me what all of it means if you can, and then double check that you had the things you need if you want 100%. If you don't want 100%, you don't need to have all the things. That's okay. When you're done, I want you to reread it and check to see if you can find these things. Like actually look through them and double check that you've got them all. Needs a little more time. All right, couple more minutes. Yeah. C.
So this is for future reference. Can after you finish already, can you give a consolidate?
Sure. I make one more lap. That's how long you have to finish. Alright, finishing up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Alright, get out something of a different color. It can be a highlighter, it could be a flare pen, a red pen, doesn't matter, just a different color. Alright, let's go through it and mark this up to make sure we had everything. What is the what? What is the picture of?
A
A castle. So if you had a castle, you said castle, I want you to circle it in your color, whatever color you've chosen. Okay, where? What's the answer to the where question? Griffin?
It's in Segovia, Spain.
Yeah, you could have had Segovia or Spain or Segovia, Spain. So circle your where answer. What about the when? The when. Jaden? Winter is the when. Okay, so that's all we need for the first section of your rubric. So if you had all 3 of those, I want you to flip back to the first page. You see this first row here? It says your retail answers all 3 of the description questions. So you can highlight 100% if you had all 3. If you had 2 of them, you should highlight the 90%. If you only had like one of them, the 80%, if you had none of them, highlight the redo section. Like highlight the whole box,
Oh, okay.
this box.
Oh, it's not 100%.
Well, you only got 100% on one row so far, we have to do this row still.
Oh.
I mean, it might work out for you, should work out for you, but you never know. Okay, if you wanna switch colors, now would be a good time to switch colors. There were actually 9 different facts in here. You only needed 5 in order to get 100%, so hopefully you got them. Okay, let's talk about where it says things you can see. What are some things you could see that you might have included? Luis?
The tree.
Ah, okay, the trees. So if you included that, I want you to, let's just underline these or highlight them. Because that's one fact. What else could you see, or what could you not see? Because that counts too, Madden.
It's very cold and cloudy.
Well, that's not what you can see necessarily. Hold that thought. Will?
You can't see people.
Ah. Yes, no people, so that would count as one. And then no animals, that would also count as one. So we already have 3 facts so far. We only need 2 more to get that A. Alright, I think that's it for seeing. I mean, obviously you could have said the castle again, but we already counted that, so I don't want to double up. What about like feel or weather? There's a whole bunch of these. Abby?
Oh, it's cold.
Cold would count as one. Aiden?
Cloudy.
Cloudy would count as one. Grace?
Says it's not sunny.
Not sunny would count as one. Carter?
Well, it's not hot yet.
Not hot would count as one. There's one more. Marilyn? Windy. So if you had at least 5 of those, go back to that rubric, and then you can highlight the 100% column. A circle.
Brady Schultz for the offense, please. Brady Schultz for the
Are you
offense.
leaving? Okay. It's very unfortunate timing.
So just do that.
Yep, so that means if you got 100 in both columns, that means you got 100 in the reading. Aubrey?
So, for one of my work, like the highlighting, like kind of like erased it.
That's fine.
Okay.
Did you have at least 5
Yeah.
facts? Then you're good. Okay. Alright, we're gonna move on to the listening. So the same things you need to listen for. Okay, so these are the same things you're trying to include when you write your English out. So right underneath where you wrote for your reading is your listening. Alright, here we go. This is really bad for Brady. Okay, I'm going to repeat it 3 times. I'm going to repeat it 3 times. The first time you're just listening, so don't write yet. Okay? Here we go. En la foto hay un palacio de cristal. El palacio está en Madrid, España. Es otoño y hay muchos colores interesantes. No hace calor ni frío, hace fresco. Está parcialmente nublado, pero hay mucho sol. Los animales están contentos porque hay sol. Hay un lago pequeño enfrente del palacio. Se oye el agua de la fuente en el lago. All right, pick up your pencils. I'm going to pause between each sentence to give you time to write. En la foto hay un palacio de cristal. En la foto hay un palacio de cristal. Palacio está en Madrid, España. Es otoño y hay muchos colores interesantes. Es otoño y hay muchos colores interesantes. No hace calor ni frío. No hace calor ni frío. Hace fresco. Hace fresco. Está parcialmente nublado, pero hay mucho sol. Salud.
Uno, dos, tres.
Salud. Está parcialmente nublado, pero hay mucho sol. How many lines have you used so far?
I have
Three,
Four,
three.
one.
Okay, Brady, skip down to the like fourth or fifth line. Cause you missed half of the listening so far, so leave space for it. And you can just pick up where we are now. So you're writing what it means in English. Los animales están contentos porque hay sol. Los animales están contentos porque hay sol. Hay un lago pequeño enfrente del palacio. Hay un lago pequeño enfrente del palacio. Se oye el agua de la fuente en el lago. Se oye el agua de la fuente en el lago. Haley,
Can you repeat that one for me?
I'm going to read through the whole thing one more time.
Oh,
Okay? Alright, I'm going to read through the whole thing one more time. As I read through it, Brady, try to fill in as many things as you can. And the rest of you, I want you to just check to make sure that you included all the things. If you missed something, you can add a little carrot and add it in. Okay. En la foto hay un palacio de cristal. El palacio está en Madrid, España. Es otoño y hay muchos colores interesantes. No hace calor ni frío. Hace fresco. Está parcialmente nublado, pero hay mucho sol. Los animales están contentos porque hay sol. Hay un lago lago. All right, grab your colors again. Los colores. What was the what? Luis?
The glass palette.
Yeah, as long as you have palace. The palace, glass palace. You said crystal, that's fine too. What is the where? Aiden?
Madrid, Spain.
Yes, as long as you have Madrid or Spain or Madrid, Spain, that's fine. And the when? Will?
Autumn or fall.
Yeah, otoño, fall or autumn.
I said October.
It is not October, I'm sorry. All right, flip back to your front page, because we have in the bottom half, where it's listening, the first row. So if you have all three, the what, the when, and the where, circle the 100% box. If you had two of the three, circle the 90% box. If you have one of the three, circle the 80%. If you didn't have any of them, circle the redo. All right, back to our listening. All right, now we have at least 5 facts. So give me some of the things that you put as the facts that you could have had. Grace.
It's not hot or cold.
Okay, not hot is one. Not cold. There's 2 so far. Aubrey?
There are many interesting colors.
Yes, interesting colors or many colors would work. That's 3. Devin?
There's a small lake.
Yes, there's a small lake. That's 4. Carter?
It's partially sunny, but it's partially cloudy, sorry, and it's very sunny.
Okay, so it's partially cloudy. That's 5. If you said there's still sun, there's lots of sun. That's 6. Aubrey?
It's fresh.
Yeah, it's fresh or it's cool. Yes, that would be 7. Haley?
You can hear the water from the water fountain.
Yes, you can hear the water. That's 8. Carter?
I put it's a mix for it's fresh.
No, sorry. Aubrey?
The animals are content.
Yes, the animals are happy or content. That's 9. Did we get them all? I think we got them all. So as long as you had at least 5, then you can circle the 100% for that row. Aubrey?
With the fountain, I put there's a fountain in the lake.
That's fine. All right, on to our last page. So on your front page, you should have your reading. You should know exactly what score you're going to get. Your listening, you should know exactly what score you're going to get. On to the last section, the writing. Okay, so you are going to write a description in Spanish of the place in the picture. You need to have at least 3 sentences. Please write more if you're able to. Okay? And you're going to describe it in a way that if someone didn't see the picture, they could picture it in their mind. Okay? You have to include at least 4 sensory details. That's things that you can see, things that you might be able to hear. Maybe you feel. That could include the weather. That could include feelings. Things you might smell or taste. I don't know why you're eating sand, but I don't know. Maybe you could taste the sand. Isaac?
So if you're doing like 2 things you can see,
That's fine.
just 2.
Yep, you need 4 total of any of these. Okay? Please notice that the rubric at the bottom tells you exactly what you need in order to get a 100% or an A. It says, your description contains 3 or more sentences, has a clear topic, which should be that picture. Every sentence is about that picture. You're not writing about the weather today, okay? And you have at least 4 of those different sensory details. As long as you do that, you get 100%. Got it? All right, go ahead and get started. I will let you know. You got about 12 minutes to write if you need it, and then we're going to go through and mark it up and correct it. So go ahead and get started. Talk about what you can see, what you can hear, what is it a picture of, what's in the picture, what's the weather like, all of those types of things. And again, at least 3 sentences, more if possible. In Spanish, please, just in case. You never know. There's always one. Remember, in order for a sentence to be a sentence, it needs a verb. So make sure all your sentences have verbs. That could be there is, that could be just is. When you think you're done, reread it and make sure that you have at least 3 sentences. They're all about the same topic, and you have at least 4 different sensory details. Things you can see, things you can feel, the weather, etc. If you're able to write more, please write more. This is an opportunity for you to show off what you know. Impress me. Gotta think of it in your head in Spanish before you can write it on the paper. You may use the resources around the room, but if you still can't figure it out, then try to find something else to say.
Bentley Miller to the office. Bentley Miller to the office.
Isaac?
So if we already have all the things we need, and then we keep writing, and we write something that's not the right word.
Won't count against you. Yeah, so after you have 3 sentences and you have what you need, that's an excellent question, Isaac. As long as you have what you need in at least 3 sentences, you can take some risks in your sentences after that. Because as long as you have those things on the rubric, you're going to get 100%. So if something is goofy or strange later, and you're just trying, it's not going to hurt you. Carter?
Oh shoot. Is weather feel like?
Yep.
Okay.
Because that's what you can feel when you're there. Because if someone says it's hot out, you can like feel it. Yeah. Oh, 5 minutos, about 5 more minutes.
Is it okay if we took some things from the picture up there because ours is
That is the picture.
like
picture, I just couldn't print it in color for you, so yes, yeah. Yeah, you shouldn't be like, there is a gray sky, because yours is printed in black and white, that's why I put the picture up. 7.
That's in order to use the 7.
I mean, it's up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. Maybe some of you are thinking, this was easy, no problem. Can I challenge you to make a longer sentence by using a connecting word like and, but, or, maybe? Maybe you already did. Ooh, impress me. Tres minutos. Hola.
Hola.
Finally!
It just came from the district.
Oh,
So you don't need
fantastico.
mine.
Gracias.
Yep. You're welcome.
Now you can give us what you owe us.
If you need more.
Yeah.
I do still have that drawer in
Okay.
case you need it, but I think that'll last you at least a day.
Probably.
At least a day. At least.
Dos minutos. Read it over one more time. Make sure you got everything. Yeah. Yeah, just spell the best you can. As long as I can tell what word you're trying to say, that's what matters. Carter?
Oh wait, actually no. So, do we have to put like save n for like you can
No.
see? Okay.
Un minuto más. I was hoping to just knock the one off, but they stayed together. It's impressive, Will. All right, you have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, get out your colorful thing. You're gonna have 2 different colors this time for sure. You need 2 colors. Okay, with your first color, I want you to number your sentences. So put like a little number 1 next to your first sentence or above it, a little number 2 by your second sentence, a little number 3 by your third sentence, and so on. And if you have more than 3, just number them all the way. And now look at your sentences. Are at least all 3 of them, or all 6 of them, or however many you wrote, are they on the same topic? If yes, you can give yourself the A grade here. Also, can you change these? I forgot to edit this. Change this to like 100, 90, 80. Okay, then you need to pick your other color. And I want you to either highlight or underline at least 4 sensory details. So anytime you wrote something you could see, something you could hear, any kind of weather statement, or any kind of feeling. So underline at least 4 of those. Mm-hmm.
It smells like water, or I guess ice cream.
That's fine. Carter?
Would you count what it's not?
Yeah.
What-
Yep, so if you said it's not cold, that would count too. So highlight or underline at least 4. Mm-hmm. Sure. At least 4, that's what that means. Haley?
Okay, so like if you didn't put like say then, but you still put like something you can see.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Still counts, yep. Isaac?
The weather comments, those.
Yep. it counts as a feeling. Carter?
If you said the beach is big, would that count? Or like it's a
Yeah, cause
big
you can
beach.
see it. Mhm.
Okay.
That's something you can see, yeah. Cause if I closed my eyes and you said there's a beach, and then you said there's a big beach, I would see something different in my mind. Jaden?
So it's very crowded because the beach is very popular.
That would count as one, cause it's still implying just like lots of beats.
I'm kind of like thinking of Carter's. Would it be one if you said it was buildings in the background?
Cause that's something you can see. Alright, so if you had at least 4 of those different details, go ahead and circle the 100 section there. If you had only 3, circle the 90. If you had 2, figure the 80. Any in the redo, circle that, and we'll have to have a conversation later. Isaac?
Wait, if I've been highlighting them the whole time, is
That's
that?
fine. Highlight, circle, whatever. I just don't have the highlighter pulled up. If I highlighted it, it would be gone. Alright. How'd we do?
Good.
Nice! Good work! Alright, go ahead and flip it back so it's in its normal position. Make sure your name's on it one last time so I can give you the grades that you earned. Devin, you don't have, oh, you have it circled, I see. I'm gonna come around and collect it from you. We've got about 7 minutes and you guys can just chit chat. If you wanna go on the gym kit or the Quizlet you can, or you can just relax. You earned it, so good work.